Book 3, Lesson 91, and today I'm going to show you how to multiply three-digit numbers. So, we're going to start with this example of penny jars. Have you ever been to a birthday party where they have a jar that's filled with candy or pennies or some buttons, some little knick-knack, and you have to guess how many are in the jar? Well, today we're going to learn a little trick to use our mathematical sense to be able to guess that number a little bit more accurately. So, in our example, we have a penny jar. It's a big jar full of pennies, and we don't know how many pennies there are. So, in order to make a more accurate guess, our children in this example took another empty jar, same size jar, and they filled it with 300 pennies. They counted them out, all 300. And then they said, look at these 300 pennies and compare that to this jar. So the 300 goes right about there. And I would guess, they take that and they say, if that's about 300, I would say this jar holds 4 times that many pennies. So if we do 300 times 4, we're going to get a fairly accurate guess of how many pennies are in this jar. So we write that like this, 300 times 4 here. And in this problem, this is my favorite type of problem because we have all these zeros. So really what we're doing is we're multiplying the ones place times the 4. So we have to say 0 times 4 is 0. Then again, another 0 here. 0 times 4 is 0. Then we move on to the hundreds place and we say 3 times 4 is 12. So we're going to guess that there are approximately 1,200 pennies in this jar. Boy, I'm glad I didn't have to count all of those. Okay, let's get a little bit more practice with this multiplying and then we're going to go back to the jar problem. So in this example, they want us to find the product of 300 times 6. So once again, usually here's what I do. I draw circles. I want to multiply my ones first, so 0 times 6. Then I want to multiply my tens, so 0 times 6 again. Then I want to multiply my hundreds, so 3 times 6 gives me 18. So now I have 1,800. All right, our next example is going to be a little bit more tricky. In this one, it says multiply 7 times $250. I don't want to write it like that. I don't like it like that. Let's write it vertically. So we're going to do $250 times 7. And we do the same thing. We multiply our ones first. So 0 times 7 gives me 0. Then we multiply our tens. So now we're doing 7 times 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. So just like when we add, how we write the 5 down here and then we carry the 3, we're doing the same thing here with multiplication. However, I'm going to add one little tweak. I put a plus 3 up here because we're multiplying, and this 3 that we carried, it needs to be added to our next answer, not multiplied times our next answer. So I write the plus 3 there just to remind us that we're adding. So now we do the hundreds. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 3. And it's money, so we have $1,750. All right, if you were in my class, you have lesson activity 31, where we are going to make some guesses. It says a penny jar. I didn't have that many pennies here at my house, so I got out chocolate chips instead. So we are going to guess how many chocolate chips you think are in this jar. So I want you to start by just making a random guess. You can pause the screen if you want a little bit more time, but how many chocolate chips do you think are in this jar? Write that guess down now. And if you need more time, pause me till you get your guess down and then hit play and we'll do the next part of the activity. Okay, so everybody's got their original guess. Now we're going to try to use the same trick that the kids in the penny jar used. I counted out, I didn't want to do this on film, so there are 200 chocolate chips in this jar. I counted them out already. There's 200. You can trust me, I'm not trying to trick you. And I'm going to compare the two jars, or I'll hold them here so you can compare them. And I want you to try to use your math trick to see if you can come up with a second guess now. Knowing that this is 200, put them together there. Try to line them up for you. Okay, pause if you need some more time to work that out on your own. So this is 200. 200 goes right about there, and these are the exact same jars. So I'm just going to use my fingers here to figure about how many layers of 200 I might need to fill this jar. So I have 200, that's 2 layers, 3 layers, 4 layers, 5 layers. So I'd say somewhere between 5 and 6. You can go with either one. Remember, this is an estimate. We're guessing. We're kind of using our eyes and our math sense to make the best guess that we can. But, where did I put my marker? There it is. I know that I've got 200 in the jar that's nearly empty. This one, I don't know. It's not quite filled to the tippy top there, so I'm going to go with the 5 layers. I'm going to guess I have about 5 layers times 200, and 5 times 0 is 0, 5 times 0 is another 0, 5 times 2 is 10, so I'm going to guess that I have about 1,000 chocolate chips in the jar. What was your guess? Was it close? What was your first guess? Okay, so we have some lesson practice problems. I'm going to put them up on the board. So just for today, we have 7 times 400. Then we have 8 times $300. Then we have 6 times 340. And finally we have 4 times $750. So I want you to pause the video here, try these 4 on your own, and then come back when you're ready to see the answers. All right, so I don't want to multiply like that. Never, ever, ever do I want to multiply horizontally unless it's a basic fact that I can do in my head. So I'm going to rewrite it with the big number on top and the little number on the bottom there. 400 times 7. 0 times 0 gives me 0. I'm sorry, 0 times 7 still gives me 0. 0 times 7 again gives me 0. And then 4 times 7, oh, maybe I haven't quite memorized my 4s or my 7s yet. Let's try counting by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28. So yes, 4 times 7 is 28. So my answer here is 2,800, and I'm going to get rid of the work here so it's not so crowded. 2,800 for the first one. Again, I don't like the way it's written. I'm going to rewrite it. Big number on top, little number on the bottom. 0 times 8 gives me 0. 0 times 8 gives me 0 again. 3 times 8, let's count by 8s. 8, 16, 24. So 2,400. All right, problem C and D is where it gets a little trickier because there aren't so many zeros. So we'll start with the big number on top, little number on the bottom. 6 times 0, got that taken care of. Now I have to do times my tens. 6 times 4. 6 times 4, I know that one, 24, but I have to carry plus 2. 6 times 3, 18, plus 2, 1920. So 2,040 is our answer here. And our last problem is $750 times 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5, that's 20. So my 0 goes down here. My plus 2 goes over to the next. Just like with addition, we go from the ones to the tens to the hundreds. So when I carry, I was working on the tens, I have to carry it over to the hundreds. So 7 times 4, we just did that one. We counted by sevens up to 28, 29, 30. So our answer is 3,000. And that's money. Let's see, this one was money too. So don't forget our dollar signs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this lesson. You will be seeing problems like this. Notice this is only part 1. We do have another lesson where we'll be talking about multiplying 3-digit numbers coming up. Practice, bring your questions to me. If you are my student, bring your questions to me either when I see you in class or on Wednesday during my math help time. And after you have done your lesson practice, please make sure to do your written practice, which begins on page 497. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.